from the Roger O. Doyle Performance Studio. This is Thursdays at 3. And it's a varied show we've got for you today. First up, we've got the Folias Duo, a guitar and flute ensemble whose 20th anniversary has culminated in a new album and a tour. Then on the second half of the show, Portland percussionist Michael Smith has brought us several of his students and 6 marimbas from his marimba lab. It's going to be a really fun show, so I hope you'll stay tuned for Thursdays at 3. Folias Duo is flutist Carmen Maret and guitarist Andrew Bergeron. The married duo just celebrated their 20th year as an ensemble and a couple, performing their unique blend of classical music, jazz, world music, and improvisation. We'll start today's show with a work by Carmen Maret called Looking Glass. It's one of the singles from their new album, Heart Dance. It's the Folias Duo starting the program today on All Classical Radio's Thursdays at 3. performing a work by Carmen Maret called Looking Glass. She played the piccolo, Andrew the guitar. The Folias Duo has a couple of concerts here in the Portland area. One tomorrow night at Mary's Woods, Sunday at the Old Madeline Church in North Portland. You find out more at foliasmusic.com. Andrew and Carmen, welcome to Thursdays at 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We've been in touch for so long. I'm glad that this finally came to be.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. I mentioned that you guys have been an ensemble and a couple for over 20 years now. Congratulations. I feel like spending all that time together, both on the road, touring, making albums, creating music together, that's got to be a lot of togetherness. I appreciate the longevity of your relationship very much. You guys are based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and that's where you met, right, in Michigan?
Yeah, we met in Michigan State, East Lansing, in the middle.
In the middle of the
Close enough, yeah.
And in addition to musicians and recording artists and touring artists, you guys are also educators, I understand. You have joint studios or separate studios?
Yeah, we teach at a couple of different colleges. We also have our own music school, Folias Music School. And
you were telling me before the show, Carmen, that you just got an appointment to the Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University next year.
I'll be doing a one-year adjunct position there.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that piece that we just heard, written by you, called Looking Glass. Can you say a little bit about how that title, how the music came to be?
Yeah, Andrew and I write a lot of our music in rustic cabins.
Oh.
It kind of makes sense. We're doing these tours in the West, and so that was actually written in Oregon, up in the northeast corner, close to Walla Walla. You just dip down into Oregon from up at the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a little river called the Looking Glass River by the cabin, and so a lot of our music is nature inspired.
Oh, I love that. Gorgeous. And we're going to hear one from you, Andrew, next. Is there anything you want to tell us about Ontario coming up next?
Sure, I'm starting a project where I'm writing a piece of music inspired by each of the different Great Lakes. And I've finished 4 out of the 5. I still haven't done Lake Superior yet. I know that's got to be the big one, but the idea, the inspiration obviously is the different lakes. I grew up right next to Lake Michigan, and it's kind of been an inspiration for me in my life. And like the lakes are all kind of slightly different sizes, the compositions are all kind of different sizes related to the different lakes. And Lake Ontario, I wrote for Carmen's African flute that she got in Guinea called the tambine, and it's got kind of a unique sound and a kind of a different scale. So it's something she's had, I think, like 12 years now, and it took me about 10 years to figure out how to write for it.
Oh, really?
Because of the different tuning, and there's, the range is the same as a regular flute, but there's some limitations on certain notes and tunings.
It has only 3 holes.
Oh, well, that would be a limitation, wouldn't it?
It's a little, we play it a little like a trumpet. You overblow to the next series of notes.
So when you're writing a piece, you must have to take it to Carmen and say, hey, is this possible? Or is it a really collaborative effort? Or is this your composition?
Well, the way we work, we definitely head up our own pieces and then show each other. I think probably it's harder for Carmen with the guitar. Guitar is kind of a difficult thing to write for if you don't know, but yeah, I mean, we work it out together, and I kind of asked her, like, okay, how's this note? Or we kind of had a little session on the flute, and kind of went from there.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can't wait to hear this. This one's called Lake Ontario.
Lake Ontario.
Is there anything we should know about Lake Ontario and your inspiration in writing this piece about that particular lake?
Well, it's inspired by a group called Tinariwen, which doesn't have anything to do with Lake Ontario, but we were listening to a lot of African music last summer when you wrote it.
Got it. Okay.
So, Lake Ontario, Tinariwen, African flute. Here we go.
Something for everybody. West Coast tour. They're performing tomorrow night at Mary's Woods, and then Sunday at the Old Madeline Church. Tomorrow's concert sponsored by Casa de la Zisa, Collegium, Musica, and then Sundays sponsored by CDZ, as well as the Greater Portland Flute Society and the Portland Guitar Society, which means that both concerts are free. Yay! You can find out more at our website, allclassical.org, or at the Folias Duo's website, which is simply foliasmusic.com. Can I ask how you guys came up with the name for your ensemble?
Oh yeah, La Folia, the medieval court dance and music that lots of composers reinterpreted throughout centuries, and so it's the idea of breathing new life into classical music.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And as part of your 20th anniversary celebration, you guys released recently, last year I guess it was, a new album, is that right?
Yes, Heart Dance.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, that was obviously our 20th anniversary, and we really brought together this nature theme, our connection to it, writing music in rustic cabins, our experiences together. The feature piece on the album was really written by Andrew, kind of technical virtuosity, culmination, great compositions about the life cycle of the dragonfly.
And that's what you're going to play for us today, yeah?
Yeah, that's where the name Heart Dance is actually the name of the shape that the two dragonflies make at the end of their life when they mate.
Really?
Is the shape of a heart.
Oh my
So that's
God.
where the
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I had no idea. And when you guys are talking about being nature inspired and loving nature, you're not kidding. I went onto your TikTok and your Instagram feed, and you guys on your West Coast tour are actually camping along the way, like pitching a tent and camping along the way.
Yeah, and our fans have been sponsoring us too. We have camp hosts that sponsor a night of camping along the way, and we take pictures and show them these amazing places. It's such a fantastic way to see the country.
Yeah.
And also it's very relaxing, actually, most of the time.
Tell me about when it's not.
Even when you have kind of somewhat bad neighbors, you're still outside and still beautiful.
Yeah.
And most people quiet down. You know, we got to get used to, public radio for real in a campground. But eventually, after 10 p.m., everything gets pretty cool. And do you ever?
A blessing of being married, as a composer, being married to an amazing performer that can play all that crazy stuff you think up. So,
Likewise.
Likewise. That's wonderful. Folias Duo, Folias Music is the website, foliasmusic.com, and you've got all the socials too if you want to see them. You guys did a cooking video at one of your campsites, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys go big. It's great. I love it. You can follow them on their social media, or you can find them at foliasmusic.com. All right, the last piece before we say goodbye to you it's the title track, right, of your most recent album, Heart Dance, and you said it was the life cycle of a dragonfly. Anything else we need to know about this piece before we hear it?
I don't think so.
I think we should just play it. Yeah, let's play it.
Let's just play. And you're playing a regular flute this time.
This is the flute.
The flute.